It is Thursday night, and you know what that means.
It's rubbing day?
Welcome to the Stardom Fan Podcast, where we only have one question. Is today rubbing day? I'm Mark.
I'm Juno,
Hey, buddy.
and today is rubbing day. So what do you want to get into? You want to get into Cinderella? You want to talk about those Corkin shows? I also want to talk about the match of the year that's about to go down in like 12 hours. Mina Shirakawa versus Mayu Iwatani.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you want to start with old business?
Old
Maybe we can run
business.
it like a union. Old business.
Is that the Corkin shows?
Yeah, I suppose that would be what happened last weekend.
Okay. Um,
It is going to be easier to catch up as we look forward at the schedule, at least until the finals of the Cinderella. It looks like they're down to a uh, two show a week schedule, and they're only doing the weekends. Unfortunately, the way they upload it, I mean, there's one that was uploaded today, so we're always going to be a show behind. But so we'll be watching Saturday's show on Tuesday or Wednesday, and if we're lucky, we'll get to the Sunday show. But maybe they'll start getting the shows up quicker too, because it would nice. I mean, we're not really a recap show, but I mean, there's a lot of good stuff that's happening, so it's nice to touch on some things.
I just wanted to touch on it because everything I read online is about how like the sky is falling, and then they put out these two banger Corkin shows. Where I'm like, Stardom 2.0 is fine, and then I don't know, you know the rest. Stardom 2.0 is Bushi Roads.
Yeah, well, they did Korakuen, and so that's I mean, strong. Um, One of them was a pay-per-view, and even the shows leading up to Korakuen after the anniversary Supreme Fight, where the sky apparently started falling, was still like good. They're good shows. Everyone's into it except for maybe Mayu.
yeah,
But yeah, and the pay-per-view, they almost sold 1,000 tickets. So I mean,
at like
it's
11. Well, the
up
two
there.
Corkin, one of them was on Valentine's Day, and then the other
Yes,
one was on,
Valentine's Day Spectacular.
and then the other one was on at like 10, 11 in the morning, and they feel like that's impressive in like the middle of the week, right? No, it was on a Saturday. It was on a
No.
Saturday. But the other one was in the one that was on Valentine's Day was in like a Tuesday.
Well, whenever Valentine's Day was, which was even funnier because, I mean, it was Valentine's Day. My wife kills me if I got us wrestling tickets. She kills me. She kills me to be like, "Oh, don't worry, I'll be back in time for dinner." If it was a daytime show, I mean, that doesn't work. The fact that they sold about 700 tickets to that show is astonishing. And at one point, I think her ladyship came up there and just said, "I know you all have nothing better to do on Valentine's Day, but come here and look at me." She wasn't wrong.
She has been, or at least when she got her ass kicked by Hanan on the next show. Well, this show she was all ladyship. She's just been interesting recently. Like her match with Yuna was fascinating because some people say
She lost.
Sakurai, is not that impressive or whatever comedy character. If you're all the criticisms, I'm like, I don't understand what people are saying. She's great, but you know how you don't have to take my opinion for it. Like Yuna rolls her up and gets a 3 count, and the crowd was like shocked, and I was like, whoa, that's how you know Sakurai is bigger. Like she's not
Yeah, that
just
was
one
on
of these.
Valentine's Day. I even called it an upset. I mean, we watched it together because it was a special Valentine. That was our Valentine's Day gift to each other. Ended up watching that together, and it was fascinating that she lost. Yeah, and the crowd was. I mean, the Corkin crowd for two shows was wild. I mean, they either mic it good or the acoustics in that place or something. But that was loud. The crowd was really good, but you can hear the audible as soon as uh, Mizu Mizumori Yuna Mizumori rolls up.
The waffle.
The waffle rolls up her
Oh,
ladyship.
this is like I should start bringing out the glasses just for the pineapple segments, huh? Yeah, that was shocking that she got the victory. Lady C versus Utami.
I
Lady
build that
C.
as if if this is how Utami treats her friends, well, you know the rest. Well, I would hate to be on
Ugh.
Utami's bad side. She kicked the shit out of Lady C. And the fact Lady C lasted almost 10 minutes, that's a moral victory.
Yeah, I mean, Utami's wrestling like she's the world champ, not Micah. That's for sure. Like, it didn't seem like it was just a regular singles match. It felt like you're getting in here with the champ, kid. And you know the good thing
Oh
about
yeah.
this photo right here on the top right, where Utami is like, looks like she just got her head kicked off by Lady C. That could
She
easily,
did get her head kicked off.
yeah, she did. But Utami's such a good wrestler that could have been her like taking a bump from her own like shoulder tackle. You would never know. That was something I noticed in this match. Is like she bumps for her own moves because it's cool. She's Shawn Michaels cool.
After this match, did Lady C end up posting any of her wounds as she likes to do?
Um, well, after this match, Lady C laid in the middle of the ring for like 8 minutes, and then Utami was like, "All right, get up." Lady C was just crying.
Oh, yeah, that was nuts.
um, yeah, it literally says after the match, Utami supports Lady by asking her to stand up, and then they hugged and they got a huge standing ovation. Oh, this was really good. Art, who won this match? Fukigen. Oh, she has a stupid star next to her name. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, Rina beat Miyu. These two have a rivalry going. That's really freaking good.
Yeah, well, Miyu's going to end up challenging for that futures belt. So that's something they've been doing really good. They've done it off and on, but they are just drilling on Stardom 2.0 the new like rivalries. Like we saw uh or Micah and who was it? Or it was Sayori and Starlight for like a month leading up, and now we're gonna see Tam and Micah for a month leading up. Now we're gonna until they fight. Now we're seeing um uh Miyu and Rina. I mean, they're gonna
Yeah,
be in 6-woman tags kicking each other's butt until they
yeah, that is a good
end up
point.
fighting. Like they're really doing the what do you call them? Show like
Like they would do that in Stardom, like 1.0. Is that what we're calling it? This makes me laugh. But yeah,
2.25.
but they would have someone like right after the match, someone would come out and challenge, and then for like 2 weeks you wouldn't hear from them. And then like the
Yeah.
last 2 weeks they would do like tag matches and stuff to set up the match. But this, it's like right off the bat, like Rina does her double knee drop and crushes Miyu's spirit, and then slaps her in the face with her futures belt.
Which actually is well that's see I almost find that baffling and the match before um Supreme fight, as I said, they're building it. Julia ends up beating uh Natsuko Tora. I'm like, well, that's a weird way to make your challenger look strong is have her lose clean in the middle, but hey, to each their own.
This match started off good. Magical Ami, Saki Kashima, and Shuri versus Soriano, Kurara, and Tam Nakano. And Saki Kashima sees that the rookie Kurara wants to start the match because she's like, I'll start. And I think it was against like Shuri. It's like, all right, kid, like the ball's on this rookie. And then Saki Kashima is like, oh, it's the kid. All right, I'll start the match. And then Ami and Shuri get off the apron, like, all right, Saki, you start. And then Soriano tags herself in. And Saki cried and would not let go of the ropes. There was a part where the crowd, the biggest like pop of the night, it got a holy shit chant. Like, I don't know, they knew those words. Shuri does the soccer ball kick to poor Kurara, and the crowd's going, holy shit. Like, what was that about?
Yo, that was amazing. Like we were actually rewound it. We're like, are they saying "holy shit"? Like I told you, the Tokyo crowd has been Americanized. I'm not even sure I like it, but I was it was fun.
Because she got and then you know what? If there's ever a time to chant that, it's Shuri kicking this poor girl in the spine 8 times. That's awesome. What is this match? This is a weird match. Oh, I don't even remember this. They did
That
like
was a
a.
big elimination match.
NXV versus Stars.
Oh, right.
It wa-
Oh, I remember this. I just remember like a couple of the spots, like this weird spot where Mina climbs up on Xena and Micah's shoulders, like while they're holding Hazuki, and then just
Sort
jumps
of like the
off.
top of the cheerleader pyramid.
Yeah, and then just
Like
jumps. She jumps in the air off their shoulders and then straight down onto Hazuki.
the fact that it worked so good and it looked terrifying as it was happening. I thought Micah, I thought Xena could handle it. I thought Micah was going to let her go or fall. That was
Um,
terrifying.
yeah, and the end of the match was the only two remaining were Mina and Micah, which is bullshit because Stars actually won the match because Waka was the first one pinned, and I'm pretty sure she's their leader.
For the captain's fall match.
Yeah, where it's the rules. Those are my favorite rules. That I don't think I've ever seen anyone else do it but Stardom, where it's like whatever it is, 5-on-5, and if the captain loses, your team loses, or if everyone but the captain loses, right?
It's almost like the old RTS games.
Yeah,
Like
it's like
or like Dawn of War or something where it's like either you're fully annihilated or I killed your commander, you lose. That's what it always made me think of.
But Waka lost first, so their team lost, but the ref couldn't keep track.
Dude, not only did Waka lose first, but before when we were watching this, remember before we realized it was an elimination match, it was like 5 minutes in, and we were like, wait, what the fuck? Like that was the quickest match in weeks.
But this is the where
Well,
Mina
don't sleep on Hazuki getting powerbombed to the front row.
she did get power bombed to the third row.
If you read if you read the order, it says Hazuki loses or gets eliminated by over the top rope. That's an understatement. Micah Hazuki up, power bombs her to the front row. I'm like, whoa, what the fuck?
I mean, I'm not gonna. Let's not jump
I
around.
think Xena got Hazuki strolled. I'm trying to remember that match. Not that we have to do blow by blow, but they had a lot of stars in it. That's two good teams that went at each other for a little bit. I know you're probably waiting to touch on the end. You had some context for the way the match ended when they hit the
Oh
mic.
yeah, yeah. Mina being a fucking asshole. I love it. Total savage. Didn't give a fuck about Mayu.
Or her feelings, or her depression.
Yeah. You know what? We'll come back to it because that's like the greatest of all time. It's gonna be the greatest match of the year. The next Corkin show, yeah. I noticed that Lady C's leg is like 80% as long as Starlight's whole body. Like
Starlight
Starlight,
still managed to wrap her up.
yeah, like Starlight was putting her in like the leg submissions, and I'm like, I don't think that works on her. Like she just bends that way. Starlight took some huge choke slams.
This is the Korakuen pay-per-view, if you will. They didn't really have a fancy name for it. Stardom and Korakuen. But it
Yeah,
was
what
on
else do you need?
nothing really. Korakuen night 2, and they have it on a weekend, and people will show up. Starlight Kid and Muraka versus Lady C and Izumi.
Suzu Suzuki versus Rana Igami. I was thinking about this the other day when we do like our tier rankings and whatever. Like I think Suzu has to get back down to the rookie tier because like I watching this match, I'm like Rana was way better than her. I was actually surprised. Like I mean, not that I was bought into the hype, but like everyone was saying that she was so good, and then she was getting this monster push. I'm like, all right, I'll check her out. I'm like, I don't think she's that great, but I'm like, god damn, she got out wrestled by a rookie.
Well, how the mighty have fallen, right?
Although when you are trained by Shuri, you're not much of a rookie.
Suzu Suzuki just went up and barely got by Rana Yagami on the second match of a Korakuen show at the beginning of February.
Rana Yagami isn't even Sherry's protege. She's Saki Kashima's from that video you've shown me.
2 months ago, Suzu Suzuki was in the main event of Queendom.
Yes. And
You
now,
want to talk about the stock dropping?
yeah, that just blew me away. I'm like, wow, she's having competitive matches with like rookies. Waka versus May. Waka was really good. Like when she just gets a chance, maybe it's just like when anyone gets a chance to shine in a singles match, they're a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, they don't. Well, you know what?
I mean, she did face
I was
May.
going to say they don't have them, but we say that every week, so I think they are starting to have more singles matches. But
May Sierra, yeah, because why wouldn't you? They're so good. May Sierra, you can't get a bad match out of her. And she's so small that Waka was the one that got to throw her weight around. That was pretty interesting.
you'll notice too that like the matches are longer. Like they're, not by a ton, but instead of 5 and 6 minute singles matches, they're doing 8 or 9 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, especially almost a 7 minutes and it's a high speed match.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they get a lot done in 7 minutes.
Dude, don't they?
May doesn't stop.
She's still running.
I think she just runs venue to venue.
That's how she stays so small. Is she the one that said she was walking to the next show? Who was that? Like a year ago?
Oh,
Or
that
no,
was Momo
like
Kogo.
or some Komomo?
Before
She used to-
she made like her debut and she challenged you. No, okay, she had the best debut actually. She comes out and Unagi Sayaka is like, well, you can't join Cosmic Angels. We're already full. So sorry, kid. And she's like, actually, I don't want to join you guys. She's like, I would like to join
great.
Stars, please. Like, oh, you don't want, yeah. So that was funny. And then on Twitter, like for her debut match, she posted like, oh, I think I'm gonna be, I'm gonna walk to the arena, and it was like an hour before the show, and she posted her Google Maps, and it was like a 17-hour walk. She's like, I might be a little late.
That is fantastic. Hi, Enigma. You can start officially. It's Thursday night, you know what that means.
Miyu is gonna fucking be the new future Stardom champion.
I don't know. Like, as you sit back and you think about it, it's like I wouldn't be mad at it, but I really like Rita in that role.
Yeah,
She's fun on the mic. She's fun making fun of old people. She's fun making fun of the younger people. Like she's just, like she's really good.
It doesn't matter what you think.
Well, that's true.
Because Miyu, it's gonna be her first win ever on a New Blood show. It better be on a New Blood. Miyu's about to be the new queen of New Blood.
Then Nene's gonna come out and challenge her.
But the match ends with, what is her move called? It's like a super pedigree. It's like a pedigree where she jumps. She hits her with, I think, 2 or 3 in a row. Like she's Cody Rhodes. Pins the champ.
I actually love this. In a match that includes Utami Hayashishita and Saya Kamatani, Miyu Amasaki gets the win.
She doesn't just get the win, she's the star. She tags her. She was the one getting the hot tags.
She was, yeah. You called it a couple times. You're like, oh my god, Miyu's getting the hot tag. Like it was Aphrodite's night off. The kids worked hard.
Oh, there's no kid about it. Then she pinned Rina. Then she got in her face and she was talking all types of mad shit before Tommy and Saya were like, all right, let's go.
She's like, oh, calm down. Easy, kid.
Like,
easy, kid.
Save it for the show. I do like their post-match comments. So apparently they do post them. I think they just posted them recently. They do post them on their YouTube page I was looking at.
Oh, good.
Sometimes.
But knowing them, they're going to have their post-match comments up before they have this show up on Stardom World.
So the last show, the Valentine's Day show, she's like, I came here and I avenged my loss So now they're 1-1, technically. And I'm challenging for the futures. So I won my match here, and I'm gonna go to her hometown. I think it's their hometown, and I'm gonna challenge Rena, and I'm assuming beat her in front of her mom. And Utami says that's good. That's so
I like your
cool.
Tommy those backstage things. Yeah, she's usually just something quick like that. Like Saya be like, "Oh, with this and that, blah, 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 we won this. Thanks for coming."
And she's like, I was triumphant. I'm gonna win. I'm gonna take that futures belt. And Utami says, like, that's good. It's not
Flips her hair
often.
out of her eye.
It's hard to beat a champion. I hope you win. Saya says, we're looking forward to seeing you bloom at the top, so you're definitely gonna win that futures belt. And then
Yeah,
Utami
that'd be really cool.
I'll be watching. And then all Rena says, because she's too cool to like accept a loss, she's like, "Well, I lost to Miyu. That's fine. I mean, I'll accept your challenge. I don't care where, man. It doesn't matter where. I'll fight you anytime, anywhere."
What do you think about they don't do the WWE thing where if you're in your hometown, you know you're going to lose. Like Stardom, the girls in Stardom tend to get a little superpower pumped up for their hometown. They usually win in their hometown.
Usually, but then again, usually you're not going up against Miyu Amasaki, the supernova.
Miyu screwed up. They were just in Kyoto like 3 weeks ago. She should have challenged her there. She almost never loses in front of the stained glass.
I don't think she ever has, except when it was also Sayori's hometown.
I was gonna say, I think it was. Did she lose to Sayori? I thought maybe she fought in Nene's passion in front of the stained glass, but I didn't count that.
Nobody, you don't count that.
Those don't count. Those get an asterisk.
Yeah. Well, eventually Miyu is gonna stop being a supernova and she's gonna become a nebula. Little science trivia. All I remember from this next match, which is just God's Eye versus Stars, is I was happy to see Koguma for 2 minutes, and then I remembered why I didn't like her.
The return of Koguma? We don't even know why she was out, but she's back.
Yeah, I was so happy for like 2 minutes, and then like after 2 minutes, I'm like, oh, she's still doing bear jokes. Oh, okay. 3 minutes go by. Oh, more bear jokes. All right. 4 minutes go by. Okay, welcome back. And then to start with the return of a happy bear and end with Shuri choking out this poor rookie Yuzuki.
Stardom fans' favorite rookie. Oh, Yuzuki gets choked out and put to sleep by Shuri. I'm like, Shuri, leave the kids alone. She's just doing this sleeper, and eventually the kids go out. The ref isn't calling it quick enough.
Yeah, she's been.
They had to get the smelling salts out. You know, after the match, it's like it's insanity. I'm not even sure it works like that. The ref, as Yuzuki's unconscious on the ground, the ref lifts her legs up, like trying to get the blood to flow back to her head. Is that how it works?
I think that's how you get blood back to your head, but if there's no oxygen in the blood, it's been choked out of you.
Like, it's nuts.
Which I thought blood chokes were illegal in wrestling, but apparently not. Unless or no, blood chokes are okay. You're not allowed to like crush the windpipe.
Yes, it's just right on the carotid, you know.
Well, who's gonna tell Shuri no?
See, I don't know. Miyu Amasaki a year ago, almost to the day, gets choked out by Shuri. It's match of the year. This happens to Stardom fans' favorite rookie Yuzuki, and I feel bad for her. I'm like, ref, she tapped out. Can we get a stoppage a little earlier here?
Oh, I think she got tapped out. Was it this show? One of the shows she choked out Yuzuki, and then the other show she put the choke in her and she tapped real quick. Like she's like, I learned my lesson.
I think Miyu. She choked out Miyu again.
Oh yeah, I remember
This
Miyu.
time, Miyu, as soon as Miyu was locked in, she was like, "Oh no, no, no! Oh
Well,
no, no, no!" She was stamping as fast as possible.
well, Miyu went to reach for the ropes, thinking they were inches away, and she must have been hallucinating because they were like 5 feet
That
in
was a
that
great
direction.
spot. Yes. I'm looking to see if I saved that. I don't
She,
know that I did. That's a
I, th-
great spot.
I think she was have what do they call it? A mirage, like when you're trapped in the desert and like you're about to die, like you imagine water when you're gonna die of thirst. So it's like when Shuri's choking you out in the middle of the ring, you just imagine the ropes are right there.
That's Miyu. Well, that's also her like getting better and getting stronger. Like she's fighting and trying her best, and it's still just not enough because that's Shuri.
Next, we had a crazy Chan Yoda, Mai Sakurai versus Wingori New Blood Tag Team title match. And oh my god, this match was fucking so good. It's like it was like they just got together before the match and says, you know what? We're not on New Blood for once. Fuck it. Let's just go out there and steal the show.
Yeah, this New Blood tag titles being up on a pay-per-view and not the heavyweight belts. I mean, that's fine. These are both good teams. And this shows you that Sakurai, a second ago, you were saying she's a lower mid-carder, or at least that's the perception people have. It's like, I don't see it. She had a great match with Chan Yoda, who, I mean, I almost never see because I don't follow her unless she shows up to Stardom quarterly. And then, of course, Wayne Gory is just amazing. Even Saida.
Saida has been getting pissed.
I was just gonna say, like, she definitely lost her smile.
Well, what happened is she got a new outfit, right? She got new hair. She got this crazy new jacket that looks like she's Godzilla. She's got a championship belt. And then everyone's thinking like, all right, I'm finally gonna start people are gonna start taking me seriously. I'm gonna start breaking out on my own. And then this new rookie comes in, and all of a sudden she is like the sixth person in a 5-person group. Because then Momo Kogo comes back, and I'm pretty sure she's above her.
Oh, when is that happening? She's been seconding, haven't we? Haven't we spotted her like outside the ring once or twice?
Oh yeah. What else do you have to say about the next match?
Team
Kurara,
Hanan won.
yeah, Team Hanan won. Kurara has like the greatest spear in wrestling. What
Who's
else?
this versus? The Cosmic Angels and Mina and Friends.
Mina and friends. Yep. Sariano. I just highlights this from what I'm finding out. Sariano just likes to do missile drop kicks because they're really cool. I think that's the only move she did. Like 4 of them.
Oh, she did like 3 of them. I thought the same thing. It was almost like in a wrestling game where it's like, well, this is working. I'm going to keep doing the same move over and over again. It's like, well, they ain't stopping you if they're not going to get out of the way every time you missile drop kick. Keep missile drop kicking.
Tam falls really hard. She doesn't. Some people like fly through the air. She just falls like a ton of bricks.
I noticed Hanan's been doing that flying move off the top rope, and she even sort of like went to the Hanan school of like flailing and trying to look all cool as you're flying. And Hanan at probably twice the weight and twice the size looks like she's floating when she does that. And there's something when Tam's going up to the rope. I love when we get to actually watch shows together because it's entertaining and two hilarious because you're like, oh, Tam's about to fall. It's like the old, was it like Toy Story or something? She gets up and is like, did I fly? Did I fly? Be like, no, you fall. It's like they're just like, poof.
It's not like Toy Story because Buzz Lightyear doesn't fly either. He falls with style. Tam Nakano does not fall with style. She crashes hard. Which almost makes it my favorite move off the top rope. Like, I see Ricochet or who else? Fucking Starlight Kid. All these people that can just do all these beautiful moves through the air, or Sammy Guevara. I'm like, fuck that shit. I want Tam Nakano or like one of these big boys. Like, doesn't Otis come off the top rope every once in a while? Like, when they just smash you into the mat. Like, oh, it's so much cooler.
It is a funny like thing. Like there's some people like AJ's one or like Starlight Kid. Like there's some people that just seem to
Yeah.
like float in air.
Yeah.
And then there's some people that just like fall like a brick, right? Andrew Richardson says Tam doesn't even float in water. Does that mean she's not a witch or she is a witch? Does she burn?
Well, if you go by Monty Python, you throw the witches in the water because witches are made of wood. So if they float, then they're a witch. If they drowned, then they weren't a witch. But if they float and they don't drown, they are a witch, and then you burn them because wood burns. That's medieval logic.
Kurara. She's up there. I don't. The girl looks like she's 95 pounds soaking wet, and she does have the greatest spear in wrestling. It's like she just goes through everybody. I think it was Micah who got caught the wrath of her spear in this one.
Well, because the only other person that does a spear is Thekla, and you think after the first 800 times, people would like watch the tape and not like be surprised when she does her little spider walk.
True.
That turns into a spear every time.
Yeah, that is good, but I still like Carrara's better. And what are they doing to the rookies? Where I think Carrara ends up finally getting pinned by the world champion. But if this was a 15 or 12-minute match, I feel like Carrara was in it for 9 minutes. We're like, nah, get out, stay out there, kid. You're good.
Oh, she didn't
like
want to.
we'll keep helping where we're getting.
She didn't want to tag out.
You didn't want to. Excuse me, I got a cold. She weighs more than a duck.
This was the main event, correct? Yep. I was gonna bring this match up too because it's freaking Julia, gross. Tora, Natsuko Tora, gross. It's the It's not even IWGP. It's a strong women's championship. There's no strong promotion, and they don't have a women's division. Gross, gross. And it was a hardcore match. Gross. But I ended up really liking it.
Yeah, when it's all said and done. Well, once we realized it was a hardcore match, we're getting through it. And we're like,
yeah, we were pissed off.
The ref is really letting a lot go.
Yeah, Tora was like beating Julia with a baseball bat. I'm like, huh, that's interesting. And then like Julia was like swinging chairs and tables. Like, well, at some point someone's got to get disqualified. And then once people start getting like choked out and hung with chains, I'm like, oh, it's probably no DQ.
I actually one, I don't like Natsuko Tora, but I liked her in this match because I also don't like Julia. So I actually had a rooting interest. And I sort of like the way Toro has been built for the last 3 weeks or so going into this, other than the show beforehand.
We learned a couple of the best
good.
seats in Korakuen.
Yeah. We actually, I don't have my thing. I think we actually wrote it as we're watching. We're like, oh, write down this seat. It's basically like the corner seats where the girls were wrestling in front of because they went out into the crowd and everything. I mean, it was pretty entertaining for a mud show match.
Julia slams the table on Tora's head and it gets stuck. Her head goes through the table and it gets stuck. The ref
Which
has
was
to pry her
terrifying. Yeah, it's like it got to the point where it's like, you know how a kid can get his head stuck in a banister magically? It's almost like what happened to Tora. It's like her head went through, but she couldn't get it out. I'm like, oh my God, they're going to slice her head off. The ref ended up chipping shit apart so they could get it out.
And then
Tora, you know what?
Yeah.
I was going to say, Stardom basically God forbid, let that lead to the finish.
I was gonna.
Who'd have thought?
Say Tora got fucked over, where Julia hits her glorious driver and then pins Tora, and she's laying on top of the bits of table. So her neither shoulder was on the mat, but that doesn't matter because it's a strong the ref didn't care. So, as far as I'm concerned, we have an illegitimate champion.
I think it's the Tom Brady rule. If you're unconscious, but your shoulders are on the ground, or shoulders are on top of something that's on the ground, you're still being pinned.
If you're tucking a football And you're
I think
making
it's like Julia's the Tom Brady of wrestling. They make up new rules for her.
yeah, like when Tom not to go on that tangent, but when now that's a thing in football because Tom Brady was gonna lose a game and they're like they just counted it as a interception or whatever. Or no, he went down to like the 1 yard line, like time ran out or some stupid bullshit. But it's like he puts his arm out and it was supposed to be a touchdown. Like, well, he wasn't making a football move. What?
I like
In the game of
New England.
football, he ran, he caught the ball. It's what? What is a foot? What the fuck? Confuses me the shit out of me. What is a football move?
It's when you move the football.
Oh, Natsuko Tora did a couple baseball moves on Julia's head with that Momo Watanabe wiffle ball bat.
Yeah, they borrowed the bat. Well, that's it. That we covered Korakuen. We'll get into. There was one more. The 18th. We're actually a show behind on stuff that's been uploaded, but what are you gonna do? I think it was just released today. God forbid.
Okay.
What's your take? Do you think sooner or later they're gonna like? And can you imagine a reason why they don't? Maybe they don't. Okay, maybe if they don't have the infrastructure to live stream it like they do New Japan, that's understandable. But why can't they just take the raw footage? It's like it's not like they do a lot of editing. They miss a lot of shots. Like I'm surprised they don't just like put it up the next day. Yeah, the next show 218 in Shibuya. So that would be worth watching. Stardom fans' favorite rookie is in the main event.
Actually, you know what? That's the end.
The Stardom Fan Podcast is possible because of you. Thank you all for your support, and you can follow everything we do at StardomFan.com. I'd like to thank our patrons. I'd like to thank the Twilight Dream for being Stardom fans, and Jake Ebert for being the World of Stardom Fan Champion. Thanks, guys.
こんばんは。You can be the top かわいい of the cosmos。クリックアワコーヒーリンクビロー。バイポイ。
Thank you for your support. Follow everything we do at StardomFan.com. I'd like to thank our patrons, Chicken, and the Twilight Dream for being Stardom fans, and Jake Ebert for being the World of Stardom Fan Champion.